Okay, think about this. A book that just exploded onto the scene, selling millions. Yeah. But more than that, really grabbing people's imagination. It promised this key, to unlocking your desires, reshaping your whole reality. It became this huge global thing. People were either completely devoted or, well, fiercely debating it. Today, that's what we're doing. We're taking a deep dive into that phenomenon.
Exactly. And our mission here is really to unpack the core ideas in The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. We're focusing specifically on its central theme, the law of attraction. And we'll be drawing straight from key excerpts, looking at what the book actually says and the implications it puts forward.
Right. So for anyone who's come across The Secret, this law of attraction idea, it's like the absolute center. But let's get into it. What does like attracts like actually mean, practically speaking, according to the book, beyond just, think positive?
Well, at its very foundation, The Secret presents attracts almost like a law of physics. It suggests your thoughts, and crucially your feelings too, aren't just internal noise. They have this magnetic frequency, a vibration really. The book talks about these frequencies like actual energetic signals you're broadcasting all the time. And the universe, it acts like this giant receiver tuning into your dominant frequency. Then it actively draws matching experiences, people, situations right into your life. The connection is supposed to be direct. Positive thoughts, high frequency, attract positive outcomes. Negative thoughts, lower frequency. Well, they attract negative stuff. So it really asks you to consider, okay, what signals am I sending out day to day? How might that be shaping my experience?
That's quite a framework. The sheer power it gives to our internal state is, well, remarkable. How does the book really flesh out this idea that our thoughts aren't just passing notions, but have this actual power to, create?
Yeah, that's where it gets really interesting. The book heavily emphasizes your dominant thoughts. And these can be conscious, things you're actively thinking, or subconscious patterns you might not even be aware of. It states these thoughts are constantly being transmitted, like out into the universe. And here's the really big claim. These thoughts are already in the process of manifesting, turning into your physical reality. So they're not just whispers in your head. They're presented as active blueprints, maybe even instructions that the universe is working on fulfilling.
Okay, wow. So if our thoughts are these powerful magnets, these blueprints,
Yeah.
how does The Secret tell us to actually use this power? Is there a specific method?
Oh, absolutely. It lays out what it calls the creative process. It's a very clear three-step method. Ask, believe, receive.
Ask, believe, receive.
Right. First, you ask. This means getting crystal clear on what you actually desire. And it's not just a casual wish. The book stresses making it specific. You need vibrational clarity, like tuning your frequency precisely to what you want. You visualize it like it's already yours, not hoping for it, but really declaring it.
So not, I want a new car, but more like feeling the steering wheel, seeing it in the driveway already.
Exactly. That leads right into the second step. Believe. This is about cultivating this deep, unwavering faith that what you asked for, it's truly on its way. You're encouraged to act as if. Act like you've already got it. And crucially, feel the emotions of having it right now. That feeling, according to the book, is the real magnetic pull.
The feeling is the magnet.
And finally, step 3 is receive. This means being open, receptive, watching for opportunities, ideas, people that align with your desire. They'll seemingly just show up to help bring it into reality. And this step involves taking what the book calls inspired action. We can touch on that more. It's quite nuanced.
Yeah, let's. But first, you mentioned feelings being key in the believe step. It sounds like it's not just about the thoughts themselves, but very much about how we feel about them.
Spot on. Feelings are presented as absolutely critical, like a feedback system. Good feelings, joy, love, excitement, they tell you you're aligned. You're on the right frequency, attracting what you want. Bad feelings, though frustration, anger, fear, they're signals too. They suggest you're maybe focused on the lack of something or on what you don't want. So the book says, notice those bad feelings and consciously shift your thoughts to generate better feelings. Because those positive emotions, they accelerate the whole process by raising your energetic state.
So you actively choose the feeling to boost the signal, essentially.
That's the idea. And connected right into that is gratitude. The book presents gratitude as this incredibly powerful amplifier. By genuinely feeling thankful for what you already have, right now you supposedly raise your vibrational frequency even higher. It makes you like a more powerful magnet for attracting more good things. It creates this positive upward spiral.
Okay, so thinking clearly, believing deeply, feeling good, being grateful, and you mentioned visualization earlier. That seems like a big part of the feeling it and believing it part. Like, if I want that dream vacation, should I be practically smelling the sunscreen and hearing the waves? Is that the level of detail the secret suggests?
That's exactly it. Visualization is strongly advocated for. Seeing your desires as already fulfilled in rich, vivid detail. It's not just a quick mental picture. It's about creating these immersive mental movies,
Yeah.
engaging all your senses, smell, touch, hearing, sight, and really truly feeling the emotions you'd feel if you were actually there, having that experience right now.
Wow. Okay. That takes practice, I imagine.
It does. And this practice is also tied directly to something else, overcoming limiting beliefs. The book points out that you might be doing the ask part,
Hmm.
but if deep down you have beliefs like, I don't deserve this, or people like me don't get rich, those beliefs can act like static. They block the signal. So a key part is identifying those limiting beliefs, acknowledging them, and consciously working to release them, replacing them with empowering ones that actually align with what you want to attract. Because, if you believe you're unworthy deep down, the book suggests that vibrational block will likely override your conscious asking.
Right, that makes sense. You have to clear the interference. So we've got thoughts, feelings, beliefs, visualization. Is it all happening purely in the mind then? Or does physical action come into play at some point? Is it just wishing, or do you actually have to do anything?
That's a really important clarification. While the mental and emotional states are definitely central, the secret absolutely includes action. But, and this is key, it's explicitly not about grinding, forcing things, or struggling through effort. Instead, it talks about inspired action.
Inspired action. Okay, what does that look like?
It means acting on those impulses, those nudges, those intuitive hits or opportunities that just feel right. Things that seem to align effortlessly with your desire. It could be a sudden urge to call someone, or stumbling across the perfect resource, or having an idea pop into your head. The idea is when you're in that state of alignment, asking, believing, feeling good, the universe sort of guides you. It presents opportunities. Inspired action is about recognizing those signals and responding to them without overthinking or forcing it. It feels less like striving and more like flowing or allowing.
So it's action that feels easy, almost natural, rather than a hard slog.
That's the distinction the book makes, yeah. Now, what's really fascinating, stepping back a bit, is just the sheer cultural impact this book had. It was massive. But connecting this to the bigger picture, its pretty bold claims have naturally drawn a lot of scrutiny and sparked some really fervent debate.
That's a crucial point to bring up. I mean, the promises are huge, and clearly it resonated deeply with millions of people. But like anything that becomes such a global phenomenon, it was bound to attract equally strong counterarguments, wasn't it? What's the sort of broader context we should keep in mind here?
That's right. While many people found it incredibly empowering reporting shifts in perspective, achieving goals they'd set, critics often raise some significant concerns. For instance, there's the potential for what some commentators call victim blaming.
Ah, right. The idea that if something bad happens, it must be because you attracted it with negative thoughts.
Exactly. That negative outcomes like illness, poverty, accidents, you name it, could be seen as solely the result of someone's negative thinking. Critics argue this can overlook, really complex realities, systemic issues, external circumstances, genetics, just plain bad luck things, often beyond an individual's direct mental control. Another common critique is that it might oversimplify very complex problems by framing almost everything as a purely mental construct, solvable just by changing your thoughts. The concern is this could lead people to, say, avoid practical action or dismiss the need for professional help in areas like mental health treatment, financial planning, or dealing with societal barriers. So it's important to remember these critiques exist, part of the whole conversation around the book's massive popularity and its central claims.
Okay, so there's the core message of the book, the process it lays out, and then there's this wider discussion and critique surrounding it, bringing it back to you, the listener, exploring these powerful ideas and this huge cultural impact. What does it all mean?
Well, we've definitely unpacked the core concepts from The Secret today. We looked at the foundational law of attraction attracts like through frequency. We talked about the 3 steps: ask, believe, receive. The absolute power of your feelings is that crucial feedback loop. and then the role of gratitude as an amplifier, the technique of vivid visualization, and that nuanced idea of taking inspired, not forced action.
So, whether you fully embrace everything The Secret claims, or maybe approach it with a bit of healthy skepticism, this deep dive, I think, definitely invites us all to reflect on the undeniable power of our own minds and how we actually choose to direct that focus, that energy. It really leaves us with a big question, doesn't it? How much of the